This is Dawson Lazorchak and Sam Paulus from the Anchor's Desk at WBED News, with our breaking news headlines from around the ancient worlds at the 5 o'clock hour. We start off our news hour in the Byzantines. The 10-man commissioner of Emperor Justinian I, assigned to weed out the old and contradictory laws, has concluded their task. The work led to revised codes made of 12 books written in Latin. These are called the 12 Tables, and they include Justinian's own new legislation. These laws will meet Justinian's goals and have all the people treated in the same way. And they will include the concept of innocent until proven guilty. The Justinian Code is strong and is on the track to be copied by other regions as a base of their own right documents.
Some aspects of the Justinian Code may look familiar to you. Mesopotamia's Hammurabi's Code also dealt with the social classes and was the common law of the region. Both sets of these laws strengthened order and consistency in their regions. The rules became more consistent with the Justinian Code, and the consequences became more consistent with Hammurabi's Code. See the primary excerpt of the Hammurabi Code for examples of the clearly explained consequences. Most penalties for the crimes committed are physical. See cutting off of a hand in Code 195, knocking out of a tooth in Code 200, and even death in Code 33.
Breaking news just in from North Africa. Well, I guess it's not breaking since it happens at the same time every year. The Nile River has flooded. The flooding brings good fortune of water. This water will nourish the crops and keep the Egyptians living near the safest and richest agricultural area in the world. Grains, figs, pomegranates, wheat, and melons will all be on the Egyptian table soon. We turn to Shiki for the in-depth interview of farmer Akam.
Thank you, Akam, for taking the time to speak with me today.
You are very welcome. We are in our wet period, or Atum, from now to June and September. We begin our planting, or Perti, in October. We hope to begin harvest, or Shimu, in February.
That sounds kind of like a busy schedule. Do you have time for, say, any other activities?
Yes, we do. Because of the relative easy field irrigation in this region, called basin irrigation, we have time to pursue other interests. Have you been over to see the pyramids develop yet? We've been able to do a lot there.
Why do you say your irrigation is easy?
Well, the Mesopotamians have a heck of a hard time with the Tigris and Euphrates flooding. They flood whenever the gods get mad. They really keep their farmers on their toes. Our god, Amun-Ra, provides us with regular floods of the Nile. It lets us have a food surplus and less work. Oh, my apologies, Amun-Ra. We didn't mean to summon you. I hope you are not angry with me.
No, Farmer Akam. I thought I'd like to get my shot on TV too. I'm sure that everyone would like to see me. I thought it was a good time to speak for myself, instead of through the leader, Pharaoh.
Thank you for joining us very much, Amun-Ra. Can you tell me a little about your philosophy regarding the flooding of the Nile River?
Well, I have a different outlook than the gods of Mesopotamia. They are very chaotic and like to cause catastrophes. The Mesopotamian priests really have to work hard to keep On, the sky god, Enlil, the god of storm and earth, and Ea, the water god, content. Those guys really like to mess up the farmers there in Mesopotamia. Osiris, the god of the Nile, and I like to keep the schedule. It makes us look better to the people of Egypt, and we like to have a good reputation of kindness and generosity.
That is very kind of you. Do Egypt's gods have anything in common with Mesopotamia's gods?
Definitely. Both cultures are polytheistic, recognizing many gods. We all influence nature mostly, but also have domain over medicine and the rule of society. We shape every person's life every day.
Thank you for your time, Amun-Ra and Akam. This is Ivan Estay from Northern Africa. Back to you in your studio, Dawson.
Thank you, Ivan. Great reporting with both farmer Achman and god Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra is the Egyptian king of the gods. We are very lucky to have him stop by for a quick interview. Egyptian pharaohs are considered the sons of Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra's symbols are the ram and the goose. Please stay tuned for our important ancient civilization news after you hear our sponsors, Hose, the future of moving water around.
Do you have trouble trying to water your crops? Are your buckets too heavy? Do you want an easier solution? We have a product for you. Try our new time saver, the hose. For only 25 easy payments of 5 gold pieces, not including shipping and tax, you can have the best solution for your agriculture now. Pre-order now and get one free. Call 1-800-HOS-EEEE. Reports from Western Europe indicate that Rome's first ruling triumvirate, made of Julius Caesar, Marcus Crassus, and Pompey, is crumbling. The three leaders united as the first triumvirate in 59 BC, and Caesar earned the trust of Crassus and Magnus Pompey by convincing them that they'd be better off friends as enemies. Unfortunately, Crassus, the richest man in Roman history, died in battle in Syria in 53 BC. Now, Julius Caesar has returned to Rome with an army pushing Pompey and his other enemies out of Italy. Ivan caught up with Caesar as he was pursuing Pompey into Egypt. To you, Ivan.
Yes, we are here in Egypt with Caesar, as he is hunting down his former ally, Pompey. Caesar, what do you plan to do once you find Pompey?
That's right. Pompey has always been so jealous of my success. There was absolutely no way I was going to give up my army, so I had to declare a war against Pompey and his forces. I just want to hope I can get him first before the Egyptians get their hands on him. I think that the Egyptian king told me we may trick Pompey into coming ashore, and Ptolemy will kill Pompey himself.
Why is it so important that you want to be the one to kill Pompey?
After all of the greatest things that I have done for Rome, I want to be the one to free Rome of Pompey's evil. And as direct descendant of Aeneas, the son of Venus, I have a right to destroy Pompey myself. I have won many territories for Rome and still need to work to solve its debt and unemployment problems. Once I take care of Pompeii for good, I can get to work at making Rome great again.
That's all from Rome in Western Europe. Back to you, Dawson.
Thank you, Ivan. Julius Caesar has some competition when it comes to winning territories for his country. His interview reminds me of a young man named Alexander the Great, who also had made quite a name for himself in the emperor building category around 300 BC. Alexander and Caesar were two of the best military leaders in Western European history. Alexander the Great conquered territories all the way from Greece to Egypt and through Turkey, Iran, and Pakistan, never losing a single battle. He used religion to inspire his followers to be loyal and encourage the idea that he was a god. Alexander reigned for only 13 years and worked to unite the East and the West through military force and cultural exchange. Alexander's biggest impact on the world history is the spread of Western culture across the world.
Moving on to the Indians of South Asia, who have invented a method to categorize people. They call it the caste system, and it's all the rage in the Indian subcontinent. This system divides people into 4 main levels, or varnas, plus those at the very bottom who do not fall into a caste. People do not move between castes. They born and die in the same caste. The Brahmins, who are at the highest level of the caste system, are the priests and leaders. The Kshiras, or warriors, were in the army or leaders in some other way. The Vaishyas were farmers and traders who owned farms or businesses. The Sudras were the lowest of the caste, but numbered the highest amount of people and acted as servants and farmhands. The untouchables did the worst jobs, like collecting garbage. People in India believe that this caste system parallels the way the universe works. Just like the sun and the planets follow their prescribed paths, people in the caste live their lives according to their caste. Others believe that the caste system has done more damage to India's society than the America's slave system did to their society. The caste system became illegal in India in 1950, but the effects can still be seen today.
We now hear news from ancient China and the Qin dynasty. The Qin dynasty is making headlines with significant marks it is making in Chinese culture. In fact, the name China comes from the name Qin. With a focus on efficiency and less on tradition or legalism, this important dynasty has unified China for the first time in the history. Using Qin's favorable location and the ruthless battle methods, including chariots, Qin had all of the advantages he needed to gain victories over the first states and become the first emperor of China in 221 BC. He worked hard to create a bureaucratic government, construct thousands of miles of road, standardize weight and measurement, build canals, and begin the Great Wall of China.
In the news again is the Byzantine Empire, who continues to change the face of European and Asian map. The Byzantine Empire existed for almost 1,125 years and was the mostly Greek-speaking continuation of the Roman Empire during the Middle Ages. It was initially in the eastern half of the Roman Empire and thrived until its fall to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. Some of the oldest and most important Byzantine cities were Constantinople, Aleppo, Antioch, and Trebizond. Constantinople, or New Rome, was the capital of the eastern half of the empire and was the largest and wealthiest European city. Some claim Constantine I chose the location of Constantinople because of inspiration from God, and that this move introduced important changes to the religious makeup of Byzantine. Aleppo was an important city that was at the crossroads of many trade routes and in modern-day Syria. Antioch was the home of two major religious centers in current-day Turkey and Syria. Trebizond, situated in the Black Sea, was also a major trade city.
Now a word from our sponsors, Ancient Times Travelers. They'll get you where you want to go.
Are you tired of walking? Are your beasts of burden being a burden? Try Ancient Times Travel. See the sights of the Silk Road, from Hangzhou, China, to the Byzantine Empire. With complete protection from bandits and wildlife, you'll be safe to carry whatever goods you need to trade across the continents.
Religion is in the news again today. In a local survey, 3 out of 5 people asked do not know the difference between Buddhism and Hinduism. They are both well-known religions, originated from South Asia area of India, both believing in karma and reincarnation, and very focused on nature. But they are their own separate religions. Buddhism was founded by Buddha, while Hinduism was not founded by a prophet. Buddhists do not believe in the Holy Book, while Hindus believe in Vedas. Buddhists do not have priests or rituals like the Hindus do. Hindus believe in the 4 stages of life, and Buddhists believe in enlightened extension. Buddhists reject the caste system. Buddhism respects a change to Hinduism that was brought about by Siddhartha Gautama, who rejected the caste system and later became known as the Buddha. They are both peaceful, non-violent, and compassionate religions, and are different than other religions like Egypt's, and are non-polytheistic.
We have huge breaking news. The Qin dynasty becomes the shortest Chinese dynasty ever. It lasted only 15 years and has now been replaced by the Western early Han dynasty. The cruel and short-lasting Qin dynasty collapsed in 206 BC. The Han dynasty is said to be the longest-lasting Chinese dynasty ever. The influences of the Han dynasty are many. Confucianism became the official state ideology. Inventions like the pulley and wheelbarrow moved goods, paper was created, the Silk Road was opened leading to trade routes from China to the Mediterranean coast, and new wealth was brought to China. Ivan caught up to Emperor Gazu, the first Han Emperor. Let's check in to see how his new dynasty is doing. Out to you, Ivan.
Thank you for meeting with me, Emperor Gaozu. Please tell me a little bit about your governing style in the new dynasty.
Well, I believe in what the Qins began. Emperor Qin was a rigid legalist and didn't hold power for very long, but he really worked out a great system of officials in provinces and districts that helped him to have strong control over the government. I will continue his system of central control and will evaluate officials based on competence, honesty, and obedience.
In what ways do you plan to be different from Emperor Qin?
Emperor Qin was a hard and ruthless man. I think my Han dynasty can make many improvements. Qin's book burnings are over. I will encourage art, literature, and education, and I will integrate Confucianism into the empire. And I will work to unite the whole China.
You have really great plans, Emperor Gaozu. Best of luck to you. Back to the studio with Dawson.
We now end our WBED News Hour with the viewer question of the night. Which empire is considered the greatest in all history? Call 1-800-BEST-EMP. That's 1-800-BEST-EMP to let us know how you feel about this.
The Roman Empire. Press 1 for the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was first ruled by divine kings, then became a republic, then finally an empire. Their excellent military and administrative system helped them to become one of the longest lasting empires of all time, clocking in with 2,214 years. Law, war, art, literature, architecture, technology, religion, and language were all profoundly impacted by the Roman Empire.
Or the Han Dynasty. Press 2 for the Han Dynasty. The Han Dynasty controlled by China for almost 400 years during the golden age of Chinese history. Scientific achievements, technology, advancements, and economic and political stability are symbols of this dynasty.
Or the Byzantine Empire. Press 3 for the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire was ruled by emperors during its almost 1,000-year existence. It was one of the most powerful economic, cultural, and military forces in Europe. Make sure to call in your vote. 1 for Roman, 2 for Han, or 3 for Byzantine. We will tell you the results of the poll the next time we meet for the WBED News Hour. Thank you for watching and have a great night. We'd like to thank all our additional sponsors.